Hello. I'd like to say good morning, but it's afternoon, so we're having an afternoon check-in. Just checking in, looking to see how things went for you yesterday. How did you sleep? What challenges did you face yesterday? And what did you do to meet those challenges? Did we meet them head on, or did we kind of bury our head in the sand and run the other way because we just can't deal right now, which is okay. You gotta honor yourself. But know that life is full of challenges and we're gonna have them. And you're not alone. So you always have your community to vent to or reach out to. I don't know, this is what I'm going through. Has anybody else been through this? How did you handle it? You never know. The wisdom that someone else needs could be something that you have. So don't be afraid to sound off in the comments. Trying to think about my day yesterday to see what challenges I may have overcome or faced. And I think that it's funny because whatever it is seems like it's so big in the moment. And then we start to think about it the next day. And we're like, what was it? What happened? Something got me riled up at some point. Something got me concerned. And I'm just trying to think about it. I had really good classes yesterday. All my students are great. You all have always been amazing. So, I love that. And this new group of people that are coming to the studio are equally amazing and different and fun in their own right way. So I think that that's great, and they're starting to come together and their own little sangha and their own little community. So that's really great to see and facilitate. And so I didn't have any challenges with my teaching yesterday. Probably my only challenge would have been just the back and forth. Going to the studio and then back to the house and all of that. Not that that's a huge challenge, but it's just kind of one more thing. My sister wants me to drink this peptide with collagen, which my friend Lauren does and has been doing for a while. And yes, I understand the benefits of it, but to me, it's one more thing. And I just don't want one more thing. And I know that just sounds horrible. And even though it's for my own good, I'm like, I'm going and I'm working out. That's my one more thing. I don't want to put one more thing on top of that. I also don't like the mouth feel of it. So I am looking for a collagen peptide, maybe in a pill form, that I could just take instead of doing the whole powder in with whatever you're drinking kind of thing. So if you guys know of anything, yes, I can Google it. Yes, I have looked on Amazon and I have Googled it. I don't have the time to sit there and do the research to find out which one is better. So I'm always willing to just take the recommendation of people I know. So if you know of a collagen peptide in pill form, then let me know in the comments and I will check that out. It'll make my sister very happy that I'm taking it in some form or another, I suppose. I am on my way to Tucson right now. But I run to Costco and then get her from the airport and then shoot back to the house quickly so that I can take over PR duty while Jeff goes for his meeting tonight. And there was something I wanted to talk to you about. And yesterday, so as you know, I have this event for Peach's Pantry that's coming up. And one of my students who's a veteran had reached out to me and asked me if she could do an interview with me for the event that I'm doing at Peach's Pantry. So I said, of course, And turns out that she wanted to do something to help Peach's Pantry herself. And the woman that runs it really needs somebody to kind of keep up with her website, just do that kind of administrative stuff. So she said she would do that as long as she could do it like in her time kind of thing. And the lady's like, that's fine, because I'm not able to keep up with it, which I get because I have a hard time keeping up with everything too. I can't tell you the amount of videos I have stored on this phone that need to be uploaded. And I just haven't done it. There's just so many hours in a day and so many things that need to be done. And yes, there will be time when there's some downtime, but you need those moments of downtime just as much as those moments of productivity. And then there's the flip and the catch of it, right? That if I can get this put up now, then in the long run, I will have the capability to have that downtime. At least that's the plan. So I know I need to get them taken care of. For 3 weeks now, I've been telling you I have the pose of the day to put up, and I have not done it. So, and I'm aware of that. I will get to getting on that as soon as I can. But anyway, back to Nancy doing the interview with me yesterday. So she interviewed me about the event coming up, just general questions, how did it come about? What made me want to do this? How did I find out about Peaches? That sort of thing. So did that. And that was nice. And then we had class, and I had a new lady come from my vets class. So that was great. Hopefully she will be back on a regular basis. And maybe my challenge yesterday, it has to do with discomfort. I think that's it. And what makes me say that is we did the interview. Nancy did the interview with me. That was not a problem. And then after class, she said, oh, can I take a picture of you, just like you are, to put with the article? And I said, sure, but I wasn't feeling sure, because I know that the internet can be hypercritical, and I know that I am a representative of my brand. I am my brand. I'm not a representative. I am the brand. And I'm like, I don't even know what I look like. She was so sweet. She was so kind. She goes, you always look good. She goes, you look good. You always look good. I'm like, oh, thank you so much. But that was part of the reason that I didn't start the YouTube channel years ago when Maritza was pushing me to do so. Because I just felt like, why would anybody want to watch? Why would anybody want to listen? And she told me the same thing I tell all of you, that what you have to say is important, that it will mean something to somebody, and that person will find you when they need you. And when they need to hear that, maybe not need you, but when they need to hear what you have to say. So, how did I overcome that challenge of like, no, don't take my picture, because I will be the first one to say I always look horrible in photographs. And we're all hypercritical of ourselves. I am also well aware of that. So I just put on my big girl panties and said, sure, go ahead. And I just sat where I was. And she snapped a couple pictures, and she's like, they look great, look. And I was like, okay, thank you. So when that comes up, I will let you know, so that you can maybe pop over to the Peaches Pantry website and take a look at that. So I'm going to say that was my challenge yesterday. And that is a challenge I have on the regular. And as I say in our yoga practice, we need to get out of our own way. And I am no exception. I need to get out of my own way. Anything that I say in class, that you're like, how does she know that I'm doing this or that I'm feeling that way? Because there's no difference. We are all in this crazy world together, and we're all one. We're all different, but we're all human, and we all feel. Some of us just tamp down those feels, and some of us are more vocal about the feels. But we all have these same basic needs, desires, dislikes. So that's how I know. And I'm just willing and able to be honest about it. I'll voice it, no problem. I'll say, your hamstrings are screaming at you right now, cursing in multiple languages probably. When we're in, say, the seated straddle. Because it's true. They are screaming at you. And there you are, sitting there trying to hold it in and hold it back and not acknowledge it and just wish it away. It doesn't work. Wishing this stuff away doesn't work. But we can breathe through it, and we can let it out in a manner that's not going to hurt somebody else. And then we can move past it. But the more that we keep it in and tamp it down, the worse it gets. I always tell people in my yoga classes, moans and groans are perfectly acceptable. And I encourage them, because if you keep that in, you're holding that tension in. And what are we trying to do here? We're trying to release tension. And here you are holding more in. So let that out. I always try and cultivate a safe space for that in my yoga studio, and with my, with and amongst my friends, it's a safe space. And I hope that you feel that way about our channel, that this is a safe space for you. And it's a judgment-free zone, so there it is. You got something bad, not nice to say. I'm not going to say bad, but if you've got something that's not nice to say, maybe you think twice about it. Or maybe you could send me a private DM and not put it in there and hurt somebody else. So just know that we are cultivating a safe space here. And whatever that looks like or means to you, whatever you're going through, it could be that you're the mom and your kids are making you crazy and you can't articulate that to your friends or family, because they'll look at you like, oh my gosh, she's such a bad mother, she doesn't want to be with her children. That's totally not it. The kids are making me crazy because they're little maniacs. And that's okay. It's okay to say that. It's okay to feel that. You're not going to cause them any harm. And you're just letting that out. We love our significant others. Doesn't mean that they're not making us insane with the things they do. A perfect example, me this morning, I came from my sister's house to the house before I went to the studio with every intention of walking PR, but I spent 30 minutes cleaning up the kitchen from the dinner he made himself the night before. But because there weren't dirty dishes in the sink, he cleaned up. Never mind the sauce that had dripped on the stove that he didn't clean up, and the sticky spot on the counter that never got cleaned up, and the dirty dishes that he washed. He's not the best dishwasher. And so, but I spent 30 minutes doing that, so PR didn't get her walk this morning. She got to go to the farmer's market, so she got out a little bit too. And I could have brought her with me for this drive, but I want to be able to run in and out of Costco and not trip over the dog leash, and I've got heavy stuff that I need to get. I need to get tea and water, so I don't want to try and juggle her and that. So she can stay home with her daddy. And so that was a challenge for me today. I didn't keep it in. I didn't tamp it down. I told him, I'm like, dude, we don't live like this, you know? Come on, clean this up. As I'm cleaning it, instead of leaving it for him. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I could be a little more consistent with that and just leave it for him to clean up all the time. Then maybe he'd be more consistent with not making such a mess. But I doubt it. So that was a challenge for me today, and that's what I did to overcome it. I let him know about it, and I did take care of it. And I'm having my exercise in patience. The people for the pool were supposed to come out to dig the trenches for electric today. Well, it was either Tuesday or Thursday. They did not show up either day. Jeff reached out to the contractor. The contractor said, I don't know what's going on. Here's the guy's number. So now we're managing our own project. But he called, spoke to the guy. The guy said, look, my crew got sick. He says, I can be there on Saturday. So we'll see if they show on Saturday. This is my lesson in patience. Because I expect for a job to be done well, done right, done in a timely manner. My idea of what's timely is obviously not industry standard. So I am having to be very patient. I'm doing my best to be very patient with this. I feel like we're so close and still so far away. So we can get the trench dug for the electric and get the electric done. Then I can get on city to get out there and, you know, do the inspection so that they can continue on. And frankly, they're not getting paid until these things are done. And they get paid in increments by blocks of work done. So the rebar, the plumbing, and the electric are in the one block. Now they've already had the rebar come out and they've already had the plumber come out. They're not getting paid on it from the finance company until we get back to them and say, okay, the electric's done. So maybe they're not in a hurry for it. I don't know. I have no idea. And this could be par for the course. Right? I've never had a pool built. I've never had major construction done that I haven't done myself. And anything we've done ourselves is not going to be considered major, I'm sure. So maybe this is just par for the course. I don't know. I know that I have some, friends of my son's in South Florida that are licensed contractors that do these kinds of things. I don't know how long it usually takes them. All I know is they tell me when they're starting a project via Facebook, and then they post when it's done, and it doesn't seem like it's taken this long. But here we are. And I'm also not dealing with them, and I'm not in that state, and I live very rural. I'm rationalizing this to myself with you guys, okay? I know that these people are coming from Tucson. I know Tucson is a good hour and a half drive, depending on where in Tucson they're coming from. And I'm assuming that it's hard for them to find people that want to come out this way. I don't know. But we paid extra for that inconvenience on the contractors. So that is my frustration that I vented to you. What I am dealing with in the moment. And that's okay. Right? Because I'm sure that I'm right on both. I'm right that I should expect that things are going to happen one after the other. There will be some downtime while we wait on the city to come and do an inspection. And then to get back onto the schedule to get the rest of it done. I expect those. I don't expect this. So I don't feel that I'm wrong in that. And I also don't feel that I'm wrong in giving them grace, that I know that we are quite rural, we are quite a ways away. There really aren't companies in town that aren't going to charge us $30,000 more than what we're paying for the exact same thing. So, I guess for that $30,000, I'll dial myself back. And just relax. And know that it will get finished. Eventually. Hopefully by summer. I was wanting to have it done by Mother's Day, but obviously that's not going to happen. So, maybe by Memorial Day? We'll see. Send out good vibes. So, there we are. That's what I have for you. And I have my phone on the dashboard, so I know that the sun coming in is going to overheat it, and I'm not going to be on this for very long, be able to be on this for very long. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this down now so that the phone will cool off, and then I'll go ahead and pop back on, maybe in Costco, maybe not, we'll see. But I'm going to flip you around just so you can see the drive. Not that there's that much to see. Like I said, it's quite rural, and we're not even to the main freeway yet. It's a good 30 minutes or so from the town I live in to the freeway. So that is where we're at. And if you are not from this area and you're watching this, those speed limit signs, it was very wild to me when I first moved here. Like on this road, it's 65. On the freeway, it's 75. 75 is the speed limit on I-10 in this area. And I'm just like, what? Really? We can go that fast and not get in trouble? And so, little differences. That's it for now. I will check back in with you.